TV.
Thank you so much for joining us here on An Hour to Give. I'm Sam Laprade, and we get together every single week. We talk about community, philanthropy, and volunteerism, and we're going to talk about it all today. We're also going to talk about a social enterprise, and of course, today is featuring Big Brothers, Big Sisters Ottawa, and the executive director, the leader, the fearless leader, is my good friend, Susan Ingram. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hi, Sam. I'm great. Thank you.
It's so great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
And I know there are people that have heard about Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and they may not sort of understand the depth of what you do. So give me the elevator pitch.
Yeah, well, you know, we have been around for 55 years, and people know us for creating these amazing relationships between mentors and mentees, our bigs and our littles. And essentially that's what we do. We create these amazing relationships that young people who are facing adversity, looking for a role model, looking for an adult in their lives that they can count on, that they can rely on, that'll help them with whatever it is that they need. And we've been doing that for many years, and we do it with all different programs across the city. But yeah, it's hard to explain sometimes what mentorship's all about. It really is.
But the minute you ask somebody who their mentor is, and sometimes you have to maybe change the word, who inspired you, who lifted you up, everybody, I'm hoping, has somebody to talk about.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I hear it too. I've been with the organization for over 10 years now, and I hear the stories from our potential, like from mentors who have been doing this for a really long time, or, you know, oh, my brother used to do this, or my dad used to be a big, or actually I was a little, and I really, you know, and I'm giving back now by becoming a big. So you do, over the course of the 55 years we've been in the city, for sure we're going to meet people that have been impacted, because what we know with mentorship is that it isn't a one and done, right? Like, they are building these amazing relationships. Like, we might match a child, like a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old this year, and in 20, 30 years, they'll still be talking to their big.
Wow.
And we know that they're doing that. That's not something that is, you know, maybe 1 in 10. We're talking like 80 to 90% of our kids are still meeting with or speaking to, or part of the relationship with their mentors for their lives.
And I know recently you had me at an event, and I heard all about somebody attending someone's wedding, and I was like, what? Like, so
baptisms,
amazing.
Weddings, their graduations. You know, it's really about our mentors are helping to build connections for our youth. But one of the things I like to talk about is, you know, our young people, you know, how do they know who safe adults are in their lives and safe people in their lives are? And, you know, my son, for example, he had me as a role model. But if they don't have somebody, for whatever reason that is, what is it that an adult can provide to them that shows them this is a safe person? And then later on in life, they can find those safe people. So they might have that mentor for many years, but later on in life, they're able to say, this coach is my mentor, this boss could be my mentor. They understand what mentorship is and what that looks like, and what a safe person who is able to help them looks like.
And I want to just stop and pull a thread on the safety piece, because you and your team do a phenomenal job to make sure that people are vetted, people that want to go through this process, put their hand up and say, I want to do this. There is quite a process, and so there should be, for this type of match. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can walk you through it. So definitely the mentors, you know, obviously the young people and their families go through an intake process, but that's really to make sure that the young person really wants to participate in the program, because there's no point in them participating if they don't want to be there. But for mentors, yes, we have reference checks, we do interviews, we have training, and then once that relationship is built, then our staff take care of it afterwards. So you're not just going to create these amazing relationships and let them kind of develop on their own. There's a lot of coaching, there's a lot of check-ins that happen, and so our team of social workers are doing that checking on a regular basis. You know, they're checking in with the parent or the guardian, they're checking in with the young person, and they're checking in with the mentor. So there's a lot of components that go go into building these relationships. And like I said, they last many years. So, we have young people that started at the age of 7 and they're now, 17, 18, 19 and still with the organization. So imagine they've spent all of that time, we spent all that time as an organization supporting them. So I think that's what it's hard for people to understand and to conceptualize. It's not just a relationship that's built and forgotten about, and the agency is really invested in the safety and the development of that relationship.
Talk to me a little bit about the impact in this particular year. I know the demand is high. What's the impact been?
Yeah, the demand is quite high. What we're seeing, I know you're hearing a lot in the community about young people's mental health and the challenges that kids are having. The biggest challenge that we're seeing is isolation for our young people, and I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of them are online. A lot of them are ever since COVID. I think that the dynamics have changed for young people and for us as adults as well, right? Isolation is really high for us as adults, so as it is for young people. So that's the demand that we're seeing really, is they need to have more connection. And so adults are wanting to have that connection as well, right? We talk about, with Volunteer Ottawa talks about it now, about how isolation is really epidemic right now, and it's for all age groups. And so the nice thing we're seeing is that we're able to help adults when they become mentors to kind of feel less isolated, and at the same time you're helping a young person feel less isolated. But really building connection. I think that many of us feel connected because we're on our phones. How many likes have we had? How many people have connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. But in fact, you're not actually getting that human interaction. And so the one thing that we're still providing as an organization is that human interaction, and it's really important for their well-being.
Really, really important. We've got so many people from the organization to talk about different aspects of Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa today. But I want to give you an opportunity to celebrate Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa and thrive.
Yes.
And you're going to be celebrating in a very big way with the whole city. Tell us all about it.
Yes, so we were nominated for a BOB, so a Best of Ottawa award with the Ottawa Board of Trade, and we received the news a couple of weeks ago, so we'll be celebrating at their event in February for the store. So I can't tell you what the category is because it has to be a surprise, but we're really excited to be able to participate, and it's meant a lot to us. The social enterprise, we started it in 2015. It's been a 10-year journey, and having the store in place has really opened up. You'll hear more about it from the amazing Hope and one of our super shoppers. But definitely it's opened up a huge opportunity for new programming for us around employment with our kids, and also, but it's providing a line of revenue for us that is really to help us continue to sustain our organization. We want to be here another 55 years. We want to keep serving thousands of kids. And, the charitable sector is struggling right now. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think you're hearing that from other charities. It is a struggle. And people are challenged right now with how to give. So, the social enterprise gives the community another way to give. So, maybe you can't afford to donate. Maybe you can't mentor or volunteer, but you can come shop at the store, and you're supporting the kids directly by coming and shopping at the store. And you can tell people about the store, and you can donate to the store. You can donate clothes and household goods. So it's an innovative way for us to continue to offer programming and to reach a different demographic of young people and needs of our young people.
It's brilliant. I'm happy to donate. I donate all sorts of clothes, and my daughter does. And she actually just said to me the other day, "Mom, we got to make a trip to Thrive." So, so I think that's really important. And I want you to take me back a decade when you had this idea, because you and I spoke about this way before those doors opened. And it really did. We talk a lot about it takes a village. It took your board to come on board. It took your staff team. It took you finding the right people. We're going to talk to Hope in a minute. We're going to, I think it's really important to know this didn't, you didn't think about this on a Monday and it happened on a Friday.
No.
This was years in the making. The tenacity and the creativity and the resilience you had to keep going through the pandemic, all of that If I would have told you a decade ago that this would be winning a Bob someday,
No.
would you even believe it?
No, I wouldn't have. However, I 10 years ago, I could envision what the store would look like. I did know, and I, if we hadn't had a board that was really believed in the plan and who trusted me, and also trusted the process. And, there was a lot of risk assessments. There was a lot that went into planning. It's not something that you just, there takes a lot of planning. But I would say, when you have really good intention and you really have good planning and you have a vision, you can start small. We started small. We had 2 clothing bins, and then we had 5 clothing bins. Then we ended up with 25 clothing bins. That was phase 1, right? And then COVID hit. And then we were able to say, okay, well, we got to do something because we're at kind of the limit of what we want to do with that. And we wanted to add in the mission and have our young people participate in this amazing social enterprise. And so tenacity is a great word. I think you just don't give up until you make it work. And I can't believe we're started our 4th year of the store already. But being celebrated by the Ottawa Board of Trade means a lot because we are a charity. And it looks different for us. How do we market? How do we talk about the organization? How do we talk about the results we're seeing with the store? And having the Ottawa Board of Trade recognize us and all the efforts that we've put into it and the impact we're having on the community, I think is very special, and we're really honored.
Well, I am so proud of you and the whole team. It's really, really wonderful. We only have a short period of time left, but if somebody is thinking about becoming a big brother or a big sister, and they're just a bit shy to reach out because it really does enrich their lives so much, what would you say to them, Susan?
I would say to them to think about, okay, take a look at what your week looks like. You really just have to carve out an hour. Start with figuring out where can you find an hour. We have programs where you could just be meeting with a young person an hour a week. See, that's easily, I'm sure people are having coffees with friends for an hour, or they're scrolling for an hour, playing video games for an hour. If you think you can find an hour somewhere in your week, then you can mentor. Yeah. You don't need any other qualification other than just having the time, and that it's going to make a difference for a young person. Just being able to be there and talk to them and care about them.
And I think what always amazes me whenever I have the honor to be at an event that's being hosted by Big Brothers Big Sisters is that you have the young people speak, but then you have the big speak. Yeah. And almost I find the impact to the big is even more like they're just like, it enriches my life. I don't know what I would do. How did I sort of operate without having this person in my life? And those stories really touch my heart. I'm always so impressed by the way that you've come together to support them. This isn't something as well that you just kind of say, okay, go meet with them and you back away. It's you're interacting. If there's barriers, if there's challenges, you're there to support.
Yeah, we're there to support them. And I agree with you. I think that I think the results for the mentor are unexpected. I don't think they realize at first when they volunteer, when they're doing their training and they're about to meet their mentee, I don't think that they realize this is going to change their lives as well, for the better. And I think that, and I think that it's very important for us to have the coaching and the support for them once they're matched.
Yeah,
just to keep it going.
It's a beautiful thing.
Thanks.
And lots of different ways to donate. Obviously, this time of year, really important. We're going to be speaking to lots of members of your team and a lot of champions of your work as well. Thank you so much, Susan.
Thanks, Sam.
Appreciate it very much.
Thanks.
Susan Ingram joining us, of course. She's the Executive Director of Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa. She leads an incredible team. You're going to meet some of them when we return here on An Hour to Give.
This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV, Channel 22. I'm Ramon DeFranco. The Nepean Raiders Junior A Hockey Club is set to host several exciting home games at the Nepean Sportsplex Steve Yzerman Arena. Fans can look forward to high-energy matchups against rival teams in the Central Canada Hockey League. The November schedule includes key games against the Campbell 73s and their crosstown rivals, the Ottawa Junior Senators. These games promise thrilling action and are a great way to support local junior hockey talent. Budget-friendly tickets are available at the gate. Don't miss the chance to experience the excitement of live hockey in your community. You'll see me there. Visit NepeanRaiders.com for details. To have your community news or events listed on our website, please go to RogersTV.com, click on events, and post your event. That's it.
Join us for the next hour to give to learn all about Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa. You're going to learn all about their social enterprise Thrive and also their initiatives for Giving Tuesday.
Summer days, summer nights, lots of things to do, places to go, and people to see. If you're having a few drinks, be sure to plan ahead and get home safely. We don't want to pick you up. Drinking drivers risk injuries to themselves and others and take chances with their license, their jobs, and their future. Remember what's at stake and choose your ride, whether you're the driver, the passenger, or the party host. Thanks for supporting Sober Driving. I hope we never meet.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
And we're back on An Hour to Give. I'm Sam Laprade, and we're featuring Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa today. We're going to get lots of different aspects of the work, and I'm so excited to welcome to the show Stephanie Chrétien-Goudreau. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
I'm so excited. What's your role, Stephanie?
Yeah, so I'm the service delivery manager at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Ottawa, and I've been with the agency for over a decade. And I've had the chance to experience different roles within the organization and programming, specifically supporting youth and families at matches. And I can remember a lot of the matches that I made a really big impact on me. Some of them, like Susan was mentioning, like 8-year-olds that are now 18-year-olds and going off to college or university. It makes a big difference for them in their life.
It absolutely. And you brought a friend with you.
Yes.
Sean Martin is here. Hi, Sean. How are you?
Pretty good. Yourself?
And I'm fantastic. I love talking about Big Brothers Big Sisters. Tell me what your role is.
I'm a mentee for the program. I've been doing the mentoring for 2 months now. Mm-hmm. I'm currently mentoring a 16-year-old kid, and it's going pretty well.
Yeah. And what made you do that, Sean? Why did you one day say, this is something I want to do?
I had it afforded to me when I was a kid. I find that being a mentor is very important, especially to child's lives that don't necessarily have that. Mm-hmm. I feel since I was afforded that, I would pass it on, so to speak, and after a lot of I wouldn't say hula hoops sort of thing. Mm-hmm. They definitely do try to put the best people in the position in order to do the mentoring. So. Yeah.
And being supported by Stephanie and her team would be really important as well. And when you hear Sean talk about the fact he's paying it forward,
yes,
Stephanie, that's the dream, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Talk to me all about that.
So I've definitely seen mentees coming back to the program, and I can recall several of them, either the in-school programming or community-based programming. And I think they just realize, years later, how much their mentor meant to them, and often they still keep in touch with their mentor, and they do are part of their life as just a family member, and they kind of graduate towards a natural relationship. And I think that's what's the most important about a program is we want to have these mentoring relationship built into a more natural, informal relationship over time.
And what sort of activities do you do with your mentee who's 16, might be involved in all sorts of things in the community? How do you spend your time with them?
He likes to do model kits, putting together either cars or like a Japanese robotic figures.
Yeah.
I wasn't really into that. I never really put model kits together in my life. I wasn't that sort of kid, but I really caught on to it, and it's become a pretty important hobby to me now. So
that's wonderful. So you've been introduced to something that wasn't on your radar before, and it's interesting because I think, as we were saying to Susan, I think there's this sense that the mentor is going to be sharing all of their sort of likes with the mentee, and often the mentee is actually like, welcome to my world, I want to share a lot with you. You find that a lot?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think there's an openness from mentors to learn from their mentee. They don't go in with, like you said, just the view that they're going to be the only one guiding. And I think to make it work in the mentoring relationship, mentors have to have that mindset.
And did you share this with your friends and family, Sean, that you were taking this step and putting yourself out there in this way for Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Yeah, I shared it with my immediate family, and they've been all supportive about it and on board with it, and that's the most important thing to me, is just having the support to keep on doing it. And I'm sure at some points you'll have doubts and whatnot, but you just keep on putting your best foot forward, and you have the support around you, and it definitely works out, definitely helps out.
That sounds like the recipe for life, right? You just keep going. So let's say, and I pose this to Susan, someone's watching right now. What is the process? Do they kind of put their hand up first and say, this is something I'm interested in? Because I'd love to inspire someone today.
Yeah, absolutely. So we welcome any community members to become mentors. Right now, as we launched our Big Steps to Success program this past year, we're really seeking out mentors with critical lived experience. And just to give you some context, the Big Steps to Success program is for youth who have had involvement with child welfare, foster care, adoption, and they're just looking to have that consistency in their life. And it makes a big difference if the person that's mentoring them has walked through the same pathway. Like they can see that someone has succeeded in life, and they have hope for the future. So yeah, we are definitely seeking out anyone with lived experience that want to help out in different ways, and we have different programming that can fit anyone's style or time that they need to commit. So I think this is really important.
I feel like we're going to inspire someone today, Sean. I really do.
Everyone should be inspired. It's a really great program to get into, and who knows, it might change your life. You might experience things that you've never knew that you liked, or things that you never knew that you'd be good at. So and also sharing that with someone else also makes it a lot sweeter or a lot greater of a purpose. So that's the way that I look at it. Beautifully
said. What's your time commitment every week?
I meet my mentee on Thursdays or on Saturdays. We usually do 2 to 4 hours each like when we do meet, and it could be pretty much anything that we decide to do. Went to community centers. We like to go to hobby shops as well. Look at all he's into Warhammer as well, so there's a bunch of things that we can look at and kind of share ideas with about like painting certain things or just stuff like that, just talking, and it usually leads into like more personal things that you can share with each other. So it's a good icebreaker, so to speak.
Right, and he said it perfectly. Sean, that was exactly what I was trying to say. Because Stephanie, it's so much more than, of course, going to a hobby shop is lots of fun, but it's how is school this week, and what's going on, and is there a disagreement between friends, or all of those pieces. I know from being a mom that things don't come out when you ask the direct question. They come out when you're experiencing life.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, it's like you said, it's not just about playing basketball or going to a hobby shop. It's really connection and building trust, because a youth may require a mentor to play 10 basketball games before they can open up to them. So I think this is really special, and just being with, I think, is key in this mentoring program.
And the trust. I mean, I think there's some people that live their life and they've got a big bucket of trust, and then they get taken away from. And then there's other people that have an empty bucket, and trust has to be put into the bucket to build. Talk to me a little bit about the trust piece of this relationship, because I would assume that would take time.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to make a relationship from scratch, and you're trying to feel each other out for maybe a few weeks. Didn't really start to be personal like right away. Obviously, there is trust that has to be built, especially with certain individuals or certain kids that didn't have that or lack that growing up. But there is ways that you can go and circumvent that. There's also other ways that you can be there emotionally and physically and whatnot for the child when they do need it the most.
And Stephanie, you've been doing this work for a very long time. Walk me through, is there one match that when you have a really, really tough day, you think, that's why I do this work?
Yes, absolutely. I can think of more than one, but there's one that's really significant to me because I introduced them and I supported their match, and now this youth is over 18, still involved in the program, very committed and also very passionate in helping out youth in the community herself. So I think that's really important to me. And I also, years later, sometimes I meet people that were in the program and I'm like, oh my God, I remember you when you were like 10 years old and now you're like in your 20s. The youth definitely make a big impact on you.
For sure. And if someone's sitting on the sidelines right now, Sean, and they're kind of waiting to make that move and put their hand up, inspire them, Sean. What would you say to them to make that call to Big Brothers Big Sisters?
You never know. You never know how much it can enrich your life. You never know what type of things you'll learn about yourself and about other people that you wouldn't have known unless you open yourself up to this experience. So if you're dealing with it, if you're on the fence, I would say take the risk and try to get involved. It'll be a great decision on your end. It's been nothing but great for me. I was very skeptical about it at the beginning, whether I can do it properly or not, but I don't have those doubts anymore. So if you are doubting yourself, don't, and try to just try it out. Just try it out. See what you're made of, and give it a shot.
Beautifully said. And it's not, we only have about 30 seconds, but it's not about perfection. It's about being a real person, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So I really want to make sure people know it's not about perfection.
And you get a lot of support from our team.
For sure.
So we help mentors throughout their process. So just do it.
Do it.
Yeah, just do it.
I love it so much. Thank you both so much for joining me today. Sean and Stephanie sharing all about, of course, the benefits of mentorship for Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa. When we come back, do you like shopping? Do you like deals? Well, you want to stick with us. We're going to talk all about Thrive. Stay with us here on An Hour to Give.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV Channel 22. I'm Josh Rackless, but if you squint your eyes in my Rogers shirt, I could be Santa, telling you that the Ottawa Gatineau Christmas Market returns to Sandy Hill. Ho, 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 offering a festive shopping experience near the Rideau Centre. What can be more Christmassy than a Rideau Centre? It's happening on November 15th and 16th, as well as the following weekend of November 22nd and 23rd. This multicultural marketplace features a diverse array of vendors, including artisans, food vendors, and publishers. You'll find unique gifts, crafts, and treats. Visitors can enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while supporting local businesses. Whether you're seeking handcrafted goods or festive delights, the Ottawa Gatineau Christmas Market is a must-visit destination. Visit ottawachristmasmarket.com for details. Ho, ho, ho! To have your community news or events listed on our website, please go to rogerstv.com, click on events, and post your event. That's it. Ho, ho, ho.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit arrivalive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
The moment I started to feel more connected to the world was when I reached out to the foundation for funding for a camera. It gave me a way to process what I was feeling, and I began to heal. When I was coming into care, I was very reserved, I was very shy, and it gave me hope to see that there is an organization who knows that supporting a young person's passion is important for mental health. I wouldn't have had that chance without funding from Children's Aid Foundation of Canada.
And we're back on An Hour to Give, and you're probably wondering why I'm holding this festive sweater. Well, it's to talk about, of course, Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa and their wonderful social enterprise, which is called Thrive Select Thrift. And Hope Wood is here. She is in charge, and we only ask the people that are in charge to come, Hope. So you do a great job. What's your official title?
My official title is Business Development Manager, Social Enterprise.
I love it. That's a good title. And you brought one of your favorite, well, one of my favorite people, but you brought one of your favorite shoppers with you today.
One of my favorite shoppers, one of my favorite supporters.
Yes.
Inspiration some days. I brought just the most wonderful person I know.
And her name is Lynn Ladd. Hi, Lynn. How are you?
Hi, I'm wonderful, thanks.
Oh, that's great. And you look gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
Tell me about your outfit.
Head to toe Thrive. I made a point of that today.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know what Thrive is, the final person on the planet that doesn't know, tell us what Thrive is.
So Thrive is a social enterprise, which is basically a business that's supporting a charity. So we have a thrift store that carries all kinds of beautiful curated clothing, some house goods, some furniture, shoes, fashion items. And all of our proceeds go back into Big Brothers Big Sisters. We also do some youth programming at the store, so employment ready skills for youth.
So smart. I mean, I'm just checking all the boxes. Win, 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 win,
Absolutely.
Win. And I know, because I've seen you there, which we thought was so funny. So I was there one day, and there Lynn shows up.
Yeah.
So we thought it was each of us each had our own secrets, but it's not a secret anymore. Thrive is a great place to shop.
It's an amazing place.
And I'll tell you, Lynn, what I really noticed, because my daughter's taken me to every thrift shop from here to Arnprior, and what I really notice is the cleanliness of the store, the quality of the items, the pricing is perfection, and once again, all those boxes are being checked, but it is a different experience, right?
It is. It's a wonderful experience, and you did miss the fact that they have fitting rooms, which is everything. Yes. I love that. But it's a very peaceful and pleasant experience every time you go in. You know that the people standing at the cash are volunteers and that they're committed to the organization and they want to be there and they want to support it. And I love running into Hope, my enabler, every time I go in. Yeah, it's just a feel-good experience all around. Yeah.
And what I love is that the whole family can shop there. There's also plus-size items there. So it's really for everybody. And I think people are a bit surprised, because I've been there, when people say, "Oh, I didn't know you had kids stuff. I didn't know you had men's stuff." So talk to me a little bit about why it was so important to be there for everyone.
So our store was really made to be, first when we were thinking of it, was to have a way to create funds for our programs. And as we got there, we realized there was a need for clothing.
Right.
So it was so important for us to make sure that we could support like lower income families that need clothing. So we have a program where they can shop for free. On top of that, all of our kids' clothing is always $2 and accessible. But we also wanted to keep it, we wanted to have this big, bright, beautiful space where everyone felt welcome to come shop and felt boutique-y with thrift prices. So we've made it a point to keep our prices low for that everyone can shop there regardless.
And I know we have a beautiful rack of clothing behind. I was peeking, just to let you know.
I'm having a hard time.
I know. Taking a look.
Yes.
I was peeking, and I love how you merchandise things as well. It's like shopping high end. You put little outfits together. You share from a fashion perspective what would look great. You're always timely in terms of, I see some festive things on there. And so the prices of things. So let's say there was a sweater and it was $80 at a local retail shop. What are you selling that sweater for?
If that sweater is still in perfect condition, we'd be selling it for about $15, give or take.
Wow.
I do have a Coach purse on that rack right now, actually, that's in beautiful condition. And that one would be selling for about $35, when retail price would have been about $180. So it's definitely very affordable. And it's just beautiful items. So we do try to have seasonal items in. And of course, I personally love putting together outfits.
Yes.
Like that's kind of one of my things. So I'm happy to help anybody who comes into the store. And if you ask me to help you with making outfits, I am definitely going to be doing that.
I've seen you do it. I've seen you do it. You're pulling stuff. I know where that is, and I can find that. So it's wonderful. And Lynn, you're so involved in the community. I mean, you know, people probably recognize you from all the different work you've done in the community. Why is it so important that we not only recognize the fact that Big Brothers Big Sisters is being creative as a social enterprise, but also that they're also doing that youth employment piece?
Wow. You know, there's so many things about Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa and Thrive that I just admire so much. The creativity 10 years ago to develop a social enterprise. When I first met Susan, the original dream was a bus with clothes on it, and I was enthralled because I love fashion and I love clothes, and to see it evolve into this welcoming, lovely environment where you want to spend time, and they allow, you know, community events there. I don't know, it's just really super. And I love social enterprises. I love charities that are looking for ways to, you know, sort of empower themselves a little bit more financially and not have to rely so much on gifts and donations. And that's just super too.
Yes.
Everything about the organization is just, I just love it. I love supporting it.
And because I've been there, Hope's been there, you've been there, I haven't told everybody where it is. So it's Emerald Plaza on Maryville Road, which I think is fantastic, because first it's a bustling part of town, easy to get to, lots of public transit, really accessible for families. Why that location? Why do you think that was such an important place to be?
We kind of call Maryville Road Thrift Alley. There's so many thrift stores on that strip that you can go to, pop in, come in and out of, and just kind of spend your day doing sustainable shopping, which is so important right now. There is so much ending up in landfills, especially around Christmas time. It's just a gift to be able to come in and see people, instead of buying new, buying something that's used, repurposing it, putting more love into their gifts, and being able to pass that along as well. So Emerald Plaza is great. It's right in the middle of all these thrift stores, so a great place to visit.
And like I said, the day we bumped into each other was so funny, because I think I was dropping some stuff off. I was there for an event, and you were there, and you know, and a couple of other people we knew popped in. I think it's really become the go-to place in the community, and I just want to tell everybody about it. I'm sure you feel the same way.
Oh, completely agree. I love sharing my thrifting experience. It took me a long time to own that I love to thrift. But I do. I love saving it from the landfill just one more time. I have access to brands and quality of clothing that I would not be buying in a mall. things I've gotten that people have purchased in Europe and overseas, and they're wonderful and unique pieces. And wait till you see what I'm wearing to the Bobs, because I bought it at Thrive, and it's gorgeous.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just, I cannot shout out how much I love Thrive more. Like, it's great.
It's very special. And Giving Tuesday, of course, is just around the corner. Are you going to be celebrating Giving Tuesday?
So we created a really great thing for Giving Tuesday. We created a You Give, We Give campaign. So every time you donate $30 to Big Brothers Big Sisters right now, we're going to be giving someone in need a bag of clothing. So they will get a brown bag. They come in on Giving Tuesday. It's going to be a full event. They're going to be able to shop for free, and they get to choose their own clothing, which is such an important dignity piece when we think of that. We don't want to be giving people donations that doesn't fit them, isn't their style. I don't want to be choosing for you. That's not fair. You come in, shop, try things on in our fitting rooms, and they get to take that home with them. And maybe they'll be finding a couple pieces for Christmas to put under their tree. So there's so many really great opportunities for people to donate their $30. It's not a big ask, and someone's going to be going home with a full bag of clothing.
Another win-win.
Yeah.
Another win-win. When they just recently, I think it was in the last 6 months or so, introduced the household goods, there's some really cool stuff back there. And I say back there because it's just, all the clothing's out front, and then you go into another little room, and all of those items are there, and they're vetted by Hope, who I love it, that you're picky. You're not bringing junk in, so it's all good stuff. Have you poked around there?
I have. I often get a toy for the dog.
Yeah, I love
often. I always look at the books, always look at the CDs. I came really close to buying a sewing machine, but I missed out on the opportunity. And it's quality items, which is really nice.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that piece, because I love the fact you're picky. Because it really does show, because if you've thrifted anywhere else and then you go to Thrive, it doesn't feel like the attention to detail has been spent at the other locations, to be honest. And I'm saying it lovingly, but you really are picky, which is a good thing.
Yes, we really want to make sure that we're not putting items that people don't want on our sales floor. Also, there's a piece that goes with this. Like, we can't take items that we probably won't sell, because that increases our disposal income cost. Right. And that's not what we want to do. The store is there to generate funds for our programming, not take away. So we do have to be very picky on what we take in. All clothing is accepted. For our home goods and furniture, just keep in mind that when people are donating, that they're bringing in quality items that are still working, that have all their pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't want your broken bread maker.
No, thank you.
We don't. So let me tell you this, or ask you this, Lynn. Had you also donate? Because I know you love thrifting. But do you kind of go through your wardrobe a couple times a year and say, I'm going to actually donate some stuff? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a great way to give back as well. It gives Thrive an opportunity to resell it and generate more income, which is really nice. And it makes room in my closet for more.
Fantastic. And you've got lots of items on this rack behind us. So I see a red blazer there. So, for instance, a blazer like that, how much would you normally sell that for?
A blazer like that would, depending on the brands, would go from anywhere from $12 to $18.
Amazing.
Yeah, for sure. So we have a plaid one back here. That's a Joseph Ribkoff.
Nice.
Yes. So that one there would probably go closer to a $22 blazer.
You might have just sold it to Lynn.
Yeah,
yes.
Lynn might be buying it. I did put in some of her sizing there.
There you go. Yeah, she's smart. She
is. She knows me.
Hope, thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
I appreciate it very much. Congratulations on the Bobs as well. And thanks, Lynn, for being such an advocate in the community.
Pleasure.
And for supporting our friends at Big Brothers Big Sisters today. We appreciate Hope and Lynn joining us, and we are not done. My friend Shirley and my friend Aaron are going to join us here on An Hour to Give.
My name is Cara, and I'm here with my friends Shane and Monique, and we're getting ready for season 2 of the Fitness Passion on Rogers TV. Join us right here.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome to Community News and Events on Rogers TV Channel 22. I'm Josh Rackless. Are you sick of having to go to art galleries to see your art? Wish it was in the neighborhood? Well, the Art in the Neighborhood Fall Art Show returns on November 22nd at Emmanuel United Church, 691 Smythe Road. This beloved community event showcases the work of more than 25 local artists, featuring paintings, photography, pottery, and handcrafted jewelry. Visitors can meet the creators, enjoy live music by the bluesy swing duo, that sounds fun, and purchase unique locally made pieces just in time for the holiday season. Ho, ho, ho. There are raffles and door prizes, and admission and parking are free, which saves you money so you can spend more on art in the neighborhood. Come celebrate Ottawa's vibrant arts community. Otherwise, you'll be stuck with just tech companies and government offices. Come on, you got to support the arts in Ottawa. Visit artintheneighborhood.gallery for full details. To have your community news or event listed on our website, please go to rogerstv.com, click on events, and post your event. That's it. I love art.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
And we're back on An Hour to Give. We've got so much to talk about with the one and only Shirley Westeindy, who everybody knows in our community. Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Sam.
I just look up to you so much. If I think about a mentor, I actually think about you.
Aw,
truly.
you. I really appreciate that.
And I think we see each other every week.
We do.
Yeah, which is wonderful. Which is wonderful. And I think you hang out with my friend Erin too.
Sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Erin Hilmer. What's your official title, Erin?
Director of Development.
Very good job you're doing there for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Thank you.
And working with lovely supporters like Shirley. Shirley, how did you get involved for the very first time with Big Brothers Big Sisters?
My recollection is it was probably about 25 years ago they asked me to be their honorary chair of a gala. And I brought some family members at the time, and my son-in-law was very interested, and he ended up becoming a big brother. And as a result, we actually, and our little brother as such, became part of our family. And when Aaron contacted me, I never shared this with you, but it was Paul's 35th birthday on November 11th. And he was coming back to Ottawa to celebrate his 35th birthday with family, and that's just before Aaron. It was a few days, and we knew Paul was
timing is everything, right?
That's wonderful.
So yeah, he started he was 11 at the time when he became into our family as such. So yeah.
Isn't that amazing? That's a beautiful story, and I just love. And we've talked about this a few times today, the longevity of those relationships. And now you're here today celebrating a wonderful opportunity to give back to the community as you do so beautifully. And I'm going to ask Erin to explain a little bit about what we're doing on December the 2nd, and then we're going to come back to you. So Erin, talk to me a little bit about Giving Tuesday.
Well, this happened very recently. I emailed Shirley and I said, I'm throwing out a Hail Mary here, Shirley, and we really would love to have a match partner for Giving Tuesday. We're a smaller to medium-sized charity. We often struggle competing with other charities in the cities that have much larger resources and budgets. The work we do is so quiet and so meaningful that we often have to shout from the rooftops to gain that knowledge of our work. So I asked Shirley, I said, like with the history that her family has with our organization and with Paul, their little brother, who's not a little brother anymore, but I feel like Big Brothers Big Sisters is such a family affair in so many ways that it just made a lot of sense to have the Westeindy family perhaps support Giving Tuesday with a lovely match. So on Giving Tuesday, every gift that is received to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Ottawa will be matched triple time from the Westeindy family. So we kind of feel like it's a win-win-win and a give because we're receiving donations, we're going to be matching donations, and we're also, as a charity, giving back. through those clothing donations to our community partners, to people who truly need it and value that opportunity. We've done it before once and it was really quiet, but we really want to share that we're not only asking for support, we're trying to provide support on Giving Tuesday. And I think that's really unique for a charity to do.
Beautiful.
So I think it was all the good feels, and I convinced Shirley to support it. So you told me on my birthday that you were going to do it. So that was a great birthday gift. It's all those romantical February babies that are being made and show up in November. So I'm one of them, but it really means a lot to have a family, especially the West Indy family, who has such a long and philanthropic spirit throughout this community. And honestly, I don't think you can find an organization that the family hasn't touched in some capacity, either through their given time or through support with funding. Shirley comes to our big shout out every year. Like, she really, I feel her appreciation for our work, and it means a lot to us.
And it really is time, talent, and treasure, Shirley, and you really do live those values. And I see it, you out in the community. What does it mean to you to be matching this gift in such a beautiful way during such a challenging time for many charities?
Well, as I say, it really is the fact that this little brother who came from Rwanda, there's a whole story, escaped during the genocide, had a twin sister who had a big sister here. So this is a beautiful story of a young man who went through hell and is now married. My grandson was his best man at his wedding in Rwanda 2 years ago. And a little sidebar story, he called me from a consignment store and he said, "So Grandma, Paul thinks I should buy these $500 shoes." And I'm in the consignment store and I found 2 pairs of black shoes, and I'm wondering, which ones do you think look similar to the $500 shoes?
I love it.
And they were $12 and $15.
So he knew who to call.
So he knew who to call.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had a large wedding in Rwanda, both a traditional and a modern wedding. It was a week-long affair, and so my family went there for Christmas and New Year's 2 years ago.
I'll tell you, I remember the photos.
Oh yes, okay,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So
That's
it's a wonderful story, and hence it just, the timing came along at just the right time for this. And my daughter Julie feels like she's a grandmother to Paul's new son. So
I love that. I love that. And sharing that generational spirit in terms of all your children are very philanthropic, very involved in the community. I know your daughter-in-law is very involved. I mean, it's wonderful to see that kind of values be set, and then to see the generations continue. Does that give you a bit of hope, Shirley, for the future?
Absolutely, and we actually give some money to our grandkids every year with the idea they can keep some but donate some, and then at the end of the year, coming up shortly, we'll get a report that one of our granddaughters will do as the various charities they chose to donate their money to, so that everybody becomes familiar with which ones and why they donated to. So it's it instills that wanting to, I want to make sure that I find a new one or something that makes a real difference.
I promised I wasn't going to cry.
I know.
And now I'm tearing up. I think that's the most beautiful thing, Shirley. I think it's wonderful.
Really, and it was. My one granddaughter said last year, "I love being in this family. I love it."
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. You know, and as someone that does this work all the time, Erin, and really, you know, you value when someone has that true philanthropic spirit, inspiring people to give during Giving Tuesday. How can they participate in this match?
You know what? You just go to our website. You go to www.bbbso.ca and you can donate there. You can donate today. Like, I don't want you to wait until Giving Tuesday. We're really hopeful that we'll smash over $10,000 so we can fully utilize the match that day. But, you know, it's tough times right now for people, and sadly the first thing that goes are vacations and charitable giving. So we're not the only ones that are feeling that in this city and across this country. It's a hard time. So, you know, I want to just let people know that I recognize that it is a hard time. I feel it myself. and I'm sure everybody else that's listening is feeling it too. It's impossible not to. But you know, if you can't give what you gave before, if you were a donor to a charity, you know, please don't let that stop you from donating. Give what you can, like even $10, $15 will be much more than that on Giving Tuesday because of the West 90 family. Right. So it really, give what you can, but don't stop giving, because we're in a moment in time right now where a lot of people are struggling, and youth are a big part of that. And so I always say we're the most cost-effective prevention and intervention program out there. And I worked in homeless shelters prior to working at Big Brothers Big Sisters, so I kind of see, you know, if there's not that intervention, what possibly could be the path that they choose. So it is very important when I would speak to the people that were experiencing homelessness, that they just didn't have that person in their life. And that's what mentors are providing. And that's what the West 90 family provided for Paul. They provided safe space, a safe place for them to grow and to believe in themselves. Mentorship means more. It's always about more. It's more guidance, it's more support, it's more hope. And you know, when you donate $1 to Big Brothers Big Sisters, over the time frame of a long-term investment, it works out to be $18 to $23 that the community sees back, because the individuals that come out of it are incredible individuals that are civically minded.
And I think also to note that monthly giving is a big piece.
Yes.
Like monthly giving is an opportunity as well for people, and it can, you know, they can kind of donate about $85 a month, and
that's a match.
And it becomes $1,000, right? So I mean, those are opportunities as well to be able to think creatively about how you can do your philanthropic giving. And what would you say to someone? I asked the question earlier about to the young man who's volunteering his time, and I'm going to ask you a similar question to someone that might be sitting on the sidelines. And you obviously have a wonderful relationship with this community from your work. But from a philanthropic perspective, if there's a CEO, if there's somebody sitting on the sidelines, a family member, the head of a family like you are, that's sitting on the sidelines and not sort of stepping forward, what would you say to inspire them today?
I don't know that there's a more fulfilling feeling than giving and feeling the gratitude from an organization. And I tend to lean towards the smaller organizations because the money means that much more to them, and they don't have the money to get the marketing as a hospital or some of the more major organizations in town. So it really is so rewarding to have that feeling.
It is. It's such a wonderful opportunity to give back, and especially see the youth and come back over time, and creative ways of giving, like Giving Tuesday. It's wonderful to see all of that. How can people reach out to you, Erin?
Listen, my life is an open book. If you want to donate, I'm available to talk to you. If you have questions, I often say it's a conversation. So there's monthly giving. You can give whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. We also have corporate giving programs. We have a great campaign that's running through into 26 called Building Futures, where we literally are going to be opening doors symbolically and physically through some great marketing recognition. And then always, like, give on Giving Tuesday. Let's start off that holiday season of giving and remember that every dollar that comes to Big Brothers Big Sisters is really giving so much more to the community.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today. And thank you so much. Hope we've inspired you today to give to Big Brothers Big Sisters Ottawa. Thanks for joining us on An Hour to Give.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Welcome to Ottawa in the Know. I'm Julie Finley. I'm happy to be here to show you everything from bike trails to kitchen tales and all the things in between that make Ottawa so great.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or a hearse. These unplanned modes of transportation can be a costly choice and do not take you home. Your plan could include a designated driver, a taxi, or public transit. Drink responsibly, choose your ride, and